Alrighty, here we go. I decided to start publishing YouTube videos just to keep a personal archive of my own thoughts. So basically, what I plan on doing is at least once a week. So for the weekly candle, so we see here that I'm on the weekly chart. So each of these candles is 1 week. So every time we're going to see one new candle of these, I'm going to come back, look at it, and publish my thoughts on it because I do believe, and again, this is for my own personal archive, although I am making it public. Just in case it helps anyone out there, if there's anybody that wants to add any type of value, comment, feel free, ask questions or whatever, or don't. It's all to me. It doesn't change anything. I'm just making this for myself. So I'm noticing that we are starting to see something interesting that could possibly develop with Bitcoin. So this is the Ichimoku cloud minus some of the averages. I only keep Kijinsen on there. I sometimes also have Tenkinsen, but I have a tendency to remove it for noise, right? But for me, what's important is this red line. When I first saw this candle cross Kijinsen and close above it, along with this William percentage R that's set to be a bit faster. Default is 14, but I keep it at 9, 10, just for it to be a bit faster. This was an indication of a possible start of a trend and is basically what we started seeing, right? So we're seeing higher highs and higher lows. And often what happens is that when price ends up crossing in the cloud or closing in the cloud, it'll often go and touch the other side of the cloud and will often test one of these levels. And this is exactly what I noticed, what I thought was going to happen. As soon as it started crossing above, I had the suspicion that it was going to come and test this line here. So that was I did not enter it, but it could have been a decent trade. Although it's usually, if you're a super safe investor trader, usually don't even get into these trades because an important signal for people that trade the Ichimoku cloud is to keep only make trades if you're above. Only make like bullish trades when you buy, when you are actually outside and above the cloud. Here we were below the cloud, so it was a weak signal. But so this is why it's starting to get interesting here, right? So in the next few weeks, right? Let's say it could even be this week, probably not next week, right? So we're starting to see price as soon as price is going to start coming out of this area of the cloud, of this red part. This is when it can start getting interested. Now, there's always 100% possibility that it might just fail and start crossing down, testing this area, then close below, and then start closing again in these areas to start testing these lows. I personally don't think so. It's possible, uh, and I'm open to it. I'm open to the possibility that it'll come down. Because keep in mind that an important aspect of price is liquidity, right? So at this point, if there's a whole whack of people that ended up buying Bitcoin here as a trade, so they went long, well, they put their stop loss down here, right? So this is an area where a lot of traders would have put their stop losses. So here there's a lot of liquidity, right? So it would make sense for whales, for institutional entities to push price down, just to come down here and just to trigger these. Where's the freehand form? I haven't used TradingView in a little while now. I've been using Ninja Trader, but anyways, just to say that. Yeah. Anyways, It's very possible that Bitcoin over the weeks might actually come back down here and test this area just to trigger this liquidity pool. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe not. It's also possible that it'll never come back down below, well, not never, but for the weeks ahead, um, that it starts basically just climbing up. That's what I'm hoping, anyways. So I'm keeping an eye open with the possibility that we're going to start seeing some higher prices. So what I'm looking for is basically if it starts closing consistently above this line. So we're still below Kijinsen, right? But we're hugging it. So in the next couple of weeks, so it might come and test. So often the clouds will act as support. It's not a great word to use, just because there's just basically averages that price will have a tendency to come and test or hit, like here you see, right, or like here as well. So I'm just looking for a strong trend to form above this cloud. Notice this line here, there's a possibility. So if it starts closing inside this cloud, there's a strong possibility that it'll come and test this line, which is basically around 2375, 23800. So that's possible as well. So if you look down on a smaller scale, so basically on the daily chart, just to see to gain a bit more information, we do notice that price is starting to come out of this region, right? So will it start closing above? But it's possible. But we also see that the cloud is still not switched over, like it hasn't switched over to a green cloud. And W percentage R being in this range here shows that we're still basically price is still stuck in this range, right? So it's going to stay in here. It seems like it might actually stay in here for a bit longer. Who knows how long? I wouldn't be surprised to see it come out, test what ICT calls consequent encroachment. So basically the midpoint of this wick. So it might come and test like this area and come back down and test this here. Like it's really unpredictable. We don't know, right? But one thing though is that we have Tenkinson that crossed, so the blue line crossed above the red line. Price is closing. We'll see, right? So there's 1 hour left in this candle. I'll be curious to see if it closes above outside of this cloud. Although, it's still stuck in a range, right? So as long as it sticks, right, in this area, basically, it's stuck in this range here. So who knows how long it's going to be in there, right? So W percentage R is still within this area, so we're still in a range. But it'll be interesting to see in the next couple of weeks, are we going to start having consistent candles that close above, like in this area here, and start moving upwards? We'll see. So we have like levels, pretty strong levels around here. I don't expect it to really, well, actually, I can't say that. Who knows? Bitcoin doesn't work on expectations. You just basically follow what it does, and if you start seeing strength, you hop on. So I did notice a couple of people that I've been following for a while on YouTube start sharing information on altcoins that are basically starting to show some possible trades. So what I might do is I might do other videos just to cover that. And again, this is not any type of financial advice. It's not for even educational purposes. I'm only doing this to share my own personal thoughts, so that I can come back and revisit um, my thoughts just to see if they made sense, if it worked out, and so on. I'm going to make these videos public simply for the fun of it. If anyone wants to come along, tongue twisted. Had one beer, a couple of beers, anyways, and so If anybody wants to comment, any questions, any feedback, please feel free. I might look it up and I might react on it or not, and we'll see. Anyways, um, so for now, let's see how. So, just my plan is to basically start creating one weekly video at least, but also possible additional videos if there's interesting development in other altcoins or really anything else. Like if all of a sudden on a daily chart we have a massive candle that pops out, I'll probably put out a thought on it just for my own thought on what could be happening. So that's it for now.